Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Lucid. I'm joined once again by Maryland.
Howdy, all you
And we
gamers.
are back. We've got another turn here as the game goes deep into the late game. It's turn 106.
Look at the size of your scroll
It's
bar.
a busy turn. It's a busy turn.
Oh,
Maryland, what
wow.
happened last time?
Well, I think the biggest news of last time was the loss of 40 or 50% of all of
Yeah.
Vanheim's army. That was the
Vanheim went
biggest
from
news to
being
me.
tied for
He
position
just went
1 to
pounding.
position 3.
Yeah. Mostly due to the army. I mean, he's still pretty much up there with provinces and stuff, but it's hard to replace those losses, and
Yeah,
they were
and
elite
mages. He
troops.
lost a ton of mages, so but at the same token, or at the same time, the now arguably position 2, Ashdod, I think has made a diplomatic error in planning to fight Vanheim. Pangaea at the same time. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah, well, I mean, he kind of commented that he felt a little trapped by his own prior
Right.
agreements.
We have a book from Pangaea and we have a book from Ashdod. Would you like to read the Pangaean book or the Ashdod book?
Oh, I'll
All
read the
right.
Pangaean book. So, some tactics. I'm moving a bunch of wizards over to my border with Ashdod. 100 white centaurs and a flight of storm demons. Wonder what he means by a
I think
flight. 30? Plan is to try
he's just
to
being fancy.
go ahead. Yeah. Plan is to try to bonk his soulless mages if he brings them by using undead mastery. Since they have insanely low MR. Yes, that will hurt. Which also could do a bunch of work versus his long dead chaff. And even more work if he uses them to guard his magi. He probably wouldn't expect that spell out of Pan, but this late in the game, everyone can cast everything. We'll try to avoid using my own soulless mages in the real fight for the same reason, but might use some for round one non-persistent spells. We'll see what he brings and what I can seduce out of it. Going to go for Olm's Lakes using the same stuff I've been deploying versus Pelagia, except with way less heartache since he has a lot less underwater stuff to defend it with. It'll take a while for stuff to get there, though. The Satis area looks good, as Alm doesn't have any real armies to defend it. We
Mm-hmm.
noticed that. Given what I've killed and what Vanheim's killed, I'm not sure that he has
And
any
what
real
Pelagia
armies at
is
all
killed.
thrown a fire. Right. And even there, I'm not sure how real that army is.
Mm-hmm.
Capital real. I'm switching up the nature of the trap that I'm placing on the throne of fire, but still deploying a trap rather than an army until he actually shows me what God. Pelagia either has some army stuff at work in his lake next to the throne of death, or he's left behind the weirdest little collection of units that I ever did see. Either way, can't abandon that throne and leave it without a real army to defend it from Pelagia's forces.
So that's interesting because we
Okay.
were kind of thinking that that army he had over there near Pelagia would transition into fighting Ashdod over the former Vanheim lands.
We did. He's kind of saying no. Some grand strategy. Ashdod's been playing really well. Ashdod late game is naturally strong, with a force of resilient mages that can cast extremely relevant late game battle magic. Their Astral 2 mages are the biggest threat, as they can communion up to chain drop master and slaves, arcane domination, and individual magi can cast spam soul slay under light of the northern stars, but the F and E mages can also cast some really relevant spammable magic. Add in secrets that only become better when everybody's got all the buffs, now available in both demon and capital only format, and custom storm demons, and you wind up with some of the scariest death balls in the game. My key to victory versus Ashdod is picking these death stacks apart rather than trying to charge face first into master and slave spam. Since the one downside to these huge battlefield spell stacks is they're expensive to operate and communion reliant, so I have a major defensive advantage. He is even higher on account of Vengeful Water both having its use and serving as a block to Dryads, since it would burn their gems anytime it triggers on them and require that all of them bring retinue stuff, rather than being able to just drop Creeping Doom or Creeping Doom into Charm Span. Even if I account for that with regards to my Dryad gear, it'll also tell them where they are anytime this occurs. In other words, it both disrupts my death stacks and... Cool.
So I think here that's like absolutely right. Like Ashdod is super scary in the late game, and I like how Sai's thinking about it. The only kind of caveat I would add to that is that Ashdod's troops aren't on the Pangaea border. He just like declared war on Pangaea without having stuff there to fight him. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Pangaea can bloodsack to push out that evil vengeful water dominion. So
that's a possibility. This means strategically that, barring Ashdod making a major mistake and losing the armies that he has defending his thrones, or leaving them horrifically out of position, my best shot at victory is taking all of the thrones that I need from... Currently, my NAP with Vanheim will end if either of us gets more than 6 thrones. Since it had looked like we were each going to get one of Olm's thrones, which would still leave us at parity. So I'll have time to prepare for that final push once I take the Throne of Fire and get armies sorted to beat both Olm's remnants and Vanheim's army in that theater. But I'll need to get those forces ready while also defending Ashdod and Pangaea, and need to make them strong enough to withstand magic phase assaults from the remaining players. Once my NAP with Vanheim ends, I'll be able to go for his thrones as alternatives too, meaning that I'll have at least 4 potential targets, of which I'll need to win 2, which may broaden to even more options if Ash via astral travel and leaves his stuff exposed. We're by no means finished, since Chris is an player who's won head-to-head against and has only broadened his toolkit since. In order to win, I'll need to manage to either outplay him and Arcos mechanically simultaneously, or for him to suffer enough losses for me to win by overwhelming him via resource advantage. In either case, I favor my position over anyone, but there's a lot of game left to play. Last message, just to comment on the players. Gicello and Braxo, I think he's still involved, are playing great. I think I've given compliments to Chris's armies before, and if I haven't, I'm sure that you did when you spectated his fights versus Pangaea. Ashdod's success in his war versus Vanheim does have a bit of luck of Chris being unsuccessfully unlucky in predicting what Gicello is sending where. But Ashdod's armies themselves are extremely tight. He's bringing in enough mages to cast what he needs to be cast, and a great mix of his focused magic support on elite troops and in-army supercombatants, which make his forces require a huge concentration of power to beat. He's even doing it stylishly, with the Merkava having been called and his Ophanum deployed and sadly lost, separately from the Chayot. I'm not sure if Kirby's heart is in this game, based on what his armies look like these last few turns, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Kirby Olm, right? Pangaea, meanwhile, chose to just not fight me for the Throne of Death, and since he hasn't put Nexus back up yet, his resources won't be close to infinite. If he attempted to put it back up with a massive commitment, but it bounced to the 1,000 gem Gift of Health overcast, and that just might have taken him out of contention. He did try and overcast.
But I don't think it was
bounced, right?
Nexus. I think it was just some spell. Yeah.
Yeah. Something else, he said. Even if so, he's still dangerous, but in large part as a spoiler on account of it to stop a throne rush. And, of course, if he does get it back up, he becomes a threat, as he was. Well, he lost a huge amount of recruits and some artifacts. He still has, including a lot of really big
Great.
ones.
So,
Okay.
Also, Marilyn, just while I'm reading these next ones, you might want to check. I think you have your... Are you doing push to talk? I'm going to pause.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to read the Ashdod messages. Get the sense I was getting really unlucky with that battle, and whatever. Oh, that's funny, because we actually saw the different RNG where he ended up winning. I think he expected to fight on Micklin and moved accordingly, and while I moved into him. Let me count the ways in which it went wrong from my perspective. Gaia's Blessing was gym-baited by the Horror Pale Riders, Wailing Winds didn't cast, despite the scripting colors indicating that it was fine. Well, that's your mistake, buddy, if you believe the scripting colors. My relief caster, Vine Lord, fled around turn 30, despite my picking him for his high native morale. 4, deciding to not cast Howl on my side, as I was afraid it was too much chaff, was a mistake, as countering his Howl with my own would have helped with the chaff clearance. 5, my healthy tart was insane, so I just utilized him in protecting my retreat path, staying on Micklin. He was instrumental in holding there, but probably was a little bit of a firepower that I needed to finish that before the timeout. And 6, somehow his stuff refused to army route. Surely the Howl HP wasn't enough. The last 3 commanders did have 30 morale, but still. The net effect was...
Well, our replay was wrong, but weren't the last 3 commanders completely fatigued out as community
Yeah,
slaves?
I think for him, I'm guessing it was the Liches
In
or
what
something
we
that
saw.
stayed, so...
Could be.
The net effect was losing all my mindless units and commanders, including my Will of Fates caster and a golem holding a staff. That made the attrition far more equal than it had any right to be, considering it was a near stomp. This turn, I'm reconsolidating back onto Micklin. He has a dome and assist, which is some province. I think that's where the fight happened. Confirmed with magic
fight,
phase last turn. I pinged his other flanks last turn to make him feel he needs to stay spread. Will be interesting if he decides to leave this throne open by sending another true army at me. I'm pretty worried about magic phase pickoffs on all my stuff reconsolidating. That's fair.
Yeah, reconsolidating is a pain in the
In
butt.
addendum, I'm continuing to just press raids with my immortals. May as well until I see he wants to do something about it. Where I showed up with an unsupported tart south of my cap, I'm sneaking him into a fort and doing it again with a different tart just northwest of Vanheim's cap. Just trying to bait resources while also getting a raider pickoff where I can. Moving a stack of shed into the southern border. Okay, I'm not going to read all the logistics because we're going to see that. Let's see what else. Addendum 2. Also, Van lost the Cleansing Bell artifact that fight, so taking a shot at it this turn.
Ooh.
I noticed he had a mage. It was on off-script casting death spells, so if I get it noted for my own use. And then finally, Addendum 3. On last thought, my god keeps dying to Doom Horrors when I attempt a magic phase. This happened last turn. I'm sure Van noticed the lack of a full bless. Pretty sure I'll need another turn on Call God with my priests, mostly in the field. In the future, we'll just have to twice burn my god and move around in the normal phase if I want him to all be useful, it seems. The horror stacks must be too high. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's a challenge.
Well, let's start with the main course then, I think, which is the Ashdod-Vanheim conflict. So this was the province where the big battle took place that he was thinking about kind of concentrating.
That's right.
And I think he had a big army here, Vanheim did, which ran into just a little counter-raiding squad. But this was probably actually enough to gym bait the Vanheim army. I was thinking there would be more gems. Does not appear so. They're not gym baited, so.
No.
But that's a pretty scary army.
They died quick.
And they've cleared this off. But, okay, so the army's basically reconstituted in Micklin. But has not moved to fight any of the rest of Vanheim. There were a bunch of Wraith Lords running around.
There were.
And we don't see much evidence of them. We see a vampire here win, even though he loses one.
That's Olm. Okay. Counter raid.
Taking this from Vanheim.
There's Vampire Lords.
Taking this from Vanheim. Killing... here he didn't kill a Van Jarl. Here he did. Kills a Wraith Lord here, which normally doesn't matter, but in this case, pretty significant. Because these guys, this is expensive. So
Relatively.
definitely good to send him home. Okay, did send horror.
Horror. That didn't work. Okay. In case the Wraith Lord had left, I
Yeah.
guess. No, it wouldn't have left. It wouldn't have left. Not before the horrors hit.
Okay, so I think the Wraith Lord's like reset. I can't see any Wraith Lord attacks, which is weird because I could have sworn he said he was going to press the advantage with his Immortals or something. But it seems they all retreated.
Well, he did press with Vamp Lords. He pressed with some Vamp Lords.
But the Wraith Lords seem to have gone home. Either that or they all got mind hunted. Or not all, but some of them did.
That's a possibility.
I don't think we have any big battles here. This is an army patrolling this fort, which is pretty weak. Especially considering what's right next door. This is a major stack from Ashdod.
And a Vanjarl rating.
Vanjarl rating with an add up to the Silver Order. Let's see if this is a deluxe Vanjarl or if it's a budget one. It's a deluxe one. Oh, this is the one that killed...
yeah.
This killed something cool. This was one of the ones that killed the Ophens last turn, I think.
I think so. Yeah. And then some body ethereal. And then that one.
Little fight here, a little skirmish. Okay. Some trolls.
Little
okay,
raid.
I think we know how this goes.
And
I think we know how this goes.
That bumped up against the real army. Yeah. Yeah. Trolls aren't going to like that much lightning. Yeah, they're dying quick. Well, there you go. And does the Vanjarl get away?
Okay.
It does.
So that was a bit of a stomp. Why can't we see any of this? This couldn't have been in the magic phase.
I don't know. Well, it won't let you hit the V key?
No, this was this fight we just watched.
Yeah,
I just don't know where the army went. Maybe it had some hide army items or something.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Vanjarl dies here to 2 Garnet Sorceresses. What happened?
Blood hunting.
Oh, kind of expensive. Ooh. 10 gem, 15,
fairly good gear.
25, 35 gems. Versus resist cold. You gonna kill him with resist cold and stay behind troops?
No, they don't have slaves.
Hey, wait.
Wonder what gets it.
Leeching touch. Leeching touch.
To the back. Oh, okay.
Leeching touch. There it went. Leeching touch again.
All right. Right on. I sure have noticed that touch range spells seem to be working better lately.
Well, in this particular version, this last version, they patched it to make it a bit more likely, I think. For some of them. I know they did it for Fist of Iron. I don't know if it affects Leeching Touch, but...
What are those couple of those are assassinations of our scouts from the Vengeful Water. Right, right. And we don't see any of the other Vengeful Water stuff. That's too bad. There has to be some Vengeful Water deaths happening.
Yeah. We've got Vanheim on top of Olm. So, I guess we'll continue this from the Vanheim perspective and look at this war with Olm. And then we can go look and see how things are shaping up for this imminent war between Pangaea and Ashdod.
Yeah, because it looks like there wasn't a lot to see for the Ashdod-Vanheim war. Just some raids and counter raids.
All right. This might be the best fight we have of this turn.
Yeah. I mean, this is about as good as Olm can probably put out.
Sadly, yeah. I mean, none of this is like killy, right? So he's got corpse constructs, and he's got mechanical men, and a tiny handful of demon knights, but
and a couple of angels.
I think these guys have? See, they did Iron Skin, and the AI does seem to be focusing on them. I think I don't know if it's looking and it's like, hey, these are good targets, but the storm demons sure are plopping some lightning bolts down on them.
They are, and they did that. Oh, some gifts from heaven.
Yeah.
Friendly fire from that is always painful, though. So he's hitting a few vans. How are the angels holding up? So far, not bad.
Well, there goes one.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, I mean, Olm stuff just, there's nothing to actually kill things.
Yeah, yeah. No, the demon knights are dying slowly.
Yeah.
So, the gifts are good, but in darkness, the accuracy of gifts is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you can also just bite the bullet and put up Solar Brilliance, too, if you know darkness is coming. It's a little hard to do as Olm, obviously not an astral power.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, they don't kill anything. Oh, they kill a Heliophagus. I guess this guy probably super combated in and died to, I'm guessing, the... either a gift or from that angel that I think was running around with Holy Scourge. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one he took the fort.
Oh yeah,
that Heliophagus.
He was special.
Oh, he's pretty hefty.
Okay, he's running in. He's up here.
And
and he's running all the way in the back.
And he got, that's a petrify.
Ah, but 26 MR. Is he gonna die from petrify? With 26 MR?
That's what it looks like.
Oh, we have different RNG. We don't get to see.
Okay.
He didn't die in our version.
Yeah.
But,
oh, well. All right.
I'll pour one out for Olm. It's kind of like when you... In Dominions, you can get hard countered. And if you don't have an answer to like what you're getting hard countered by, then like, what do you do? I think that's kind of where Olm is. They're just like, I don't know what to do. I mean, we have a hammer. So we're going to start hitting some nails, and it's like, these ain't fucking nails.
Yeah.
But, all you got is a hammer.
If you look there, he did move out one of his large armies. That might be almost his last one. So nothing really to fight there, but now he's stuck on top of a fort. So he's probably going to get flames from the sky.
This stuff is pretty resistant to it. Let's see.
Yeah, it is, actually. Mechanical men.
But this is more of the same. This is like, slightly better troops. He's got the demon knights. He's got
a coatl. How did he get a coatl?
That's a fine question. It's probably a merc.
Trat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go.
So, all right. He's going to, God bless him, he's going to die riding out. He's not going to die hidey holed up in his fort trying to protect things. Good for him.
Yeah. But he doesn't have much left to deal with that.
Done. But, I mean, look, that's also like when you're done, like, get me out of the game. Like, I'm going to ride out. We'll have a glorious end. I'm going to take every fight you present to me. And then...
Player morale does come into play. I have come up against it a few times where I reach the end game and I'm just like, how hard do I want to work at this lingering death?
I mean,
usually fairly hard, but not to the same commitment as when I'm still looking at a possible win.
Yeah, I mean, I think though for me, it's like where. If you're playing to win still, it still means riding out. Like even if like the chances of sitting in your the chances of sitting in your fort and winning are 0%. The chances of riding out and having some glorious combat where you turn it around are like 1% where you win. So go for the one.
Oh yeah, those I'm totally for the riding out and doing the the Black Knight thou shalt not pass kind of shenanigans. But I know that sometimes I don't put as much time into it that I would if I was still.
We've got a pretty big amount of PD here. Not really. It looked like more on the battle report.
Yeah.
An Earth Elemental.
And an Earth Elemental. Okay. So that should hold up. And does it? Oh, yeah.
But there's a Vanheim. Who's killed the mage. Killed all the commanders.
Oh.
All right.
Well,
that worked. Over here, Olm patrolling with
Just to ping.
was one of his last armies.
And a little
And
bit
then
of
comes in with
horrors
some imps and a Van Jarl. Takes out the PD. Oh, I'm actually kind of interested to see how he does this. Is this another commander snipe? I kind of feel like it is.
Yeah, looks that way.
Yeah, these guys hold an attack rear, and then this guy
the
comes
imps
and
get
joins
him.
them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, protect your commanders.
Oh, yuck.
The imps are coming. Okay, we saw that one already. We watched that one. And then...
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so okay. Olm losing ground here. Pangaea running through with a big pile. It looks like this was Earth Elementals, but how do Earth
Just
Elementals do
Maenads.
against a big pile of Maenads? Well, they do okay.
Oh.
Yeah, they
they're
swarm
just too
past, actually
many.
killed the commanders. It's possible that the Earth Elementals would have killed all the Maenads,
Oh,
but
right.
they killed the commanders and then they disintegrated.
Yeah, the commanders, yeah. Yeah, then they melt away.
All right. Pangaea
Oh,
trying to
gosh.
storm. With I would say, medium commitment army. These cataphracts aren't free. He's got some demons.
Yeah.
On Olm's side, though, we've got a fair number of guardians. And we've got a lot of Earth Elementals. Oh, boy. And he got Army of Gold on the Earth Elementals. So these are going to be some spooky Earth Elementals.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
He's also
An
got
Iron
the shotgun
Blizzard.
effect. The iron. Oh, but the devils make
They
a bit of
do.
a mess.
oh,
Got
but
it in
Iron
that
Blizzard.
Line. Oh, but there's the shotguns.
Pillar of Fire coming down. There's not many devils left. But they did make a mess of these
but
commanders.
They did. That's 4 or 5 dead already. Yeah, Tanglevines was good. More of
These
that
Earth
would help.
Elementals, they were doing serious work.
They are. Oh, and some sleep.
Some sleep.
So he's putting some of the centaurs to sleep.
What is the regen? Is it 10% or more? I feel like it's more, right? Oh, it's only 10. They just have 50 HP, so it's kind of a lot per turn.
Until they shrink. Once they start shrinking,
These
they're done.
devils, why are they hitting so hard? They do have a strength bonus, but
Oh.
they do have the
strength
protection buff. I mean, these devils are... Okay, wow. Okay, they got yeeted there, but okay,
there
the
they
Storm
go.
Demon's finally coming in. Now the devils are dead. But they're getting trampled. I think it's a rout.
They are. Yeah. Yep. And some of the earth elementals got
All
to
right,
the
well, it
back.
wasn't cheap for Olm. He lost 6
Okay.
smiths, which are going to be hard to replace, especially in his state.
Mm-hmm.
But he took his pound of flesh and he held the fort.
He did. Good job. Good job, Mr. Ohm. Well done.
Okay, got a golem and stuff chilling out on top of this fort. And gets hit by some Fiends of Darkness here with only 3 smiths patrolling. I'm guessing these are Earth... Oh, no, they just get yeeted. But Olm has pretty good PD. So
Oh,
I
my
don't think
gosh.
they... Have these guys routed? Pangaea's routed. They didn't get the commander
Doesn't
here.
say so.
The commander...
Oh, there's a
Yeah,
commander
Ulmish
there.
PD is no joke.
Yeah, but
These
and
crossbowmen... These
the fiends
crossbowmen
are
are
dying.
11 attack, 16 damage, short swords with 17 protection.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the fiends are doing a number there.
Yeah.
Or the fiends took a beating.
Yeah,
is
he
what I
lost
meant to
most of
say.
them, so... I wonder how he got the commander. Curious. Maybe.
Give the
That's
reason.
expensive.
Yeah, I think that's the only option.
Okay, and then he pings out here, and now this was this big force of vampires leading storm demons, and Pangaea's doubled down now.
Right.
So they've said, okay, we're going to pop this
Yeah.
fort this turn, and Satis is now compromised.
But he left the fort on the lakefront empty.
Pelagia pinging the Pangaean force here. And then Olm rides out
Yeah, he
and
just
says,
struck
shoot,
Maenads
get
as well."
these silly Maenads out of here.
Yeah, enough of that. Oh, and they run away. Oh,
How
the
did that
commander
happen?
got sniped right at the beginning. I don't know. Pillar of fire?
Oh, life for life. Life for
Oh,
life.
just got shot.
That's a
Oh,
pretty
life
good
for
way to
life.
clear the
Yeah.
commanders
Okay.
out of mainnet hordes.
It is. It is.
But, as we said, Ulm last turn, right, he said, okay, we're going to control some of this area around Satis, right? So he did a bunch of
You mean Pangaea?
Satis, the province.
No, but you said
Ulm said
Alm
that.
said that. It was
No,
Pangaea said
Ulm
he was
actually
gonna.
re-raided last turn all this area around Satis, and he patrolled with like a medium force, and then Pangaea smashed that medium force on top of Satis. And this turn was him like
Right.
trying to get those guys out, and now Satis, but so Pangaea basically took all the land that Ulm had recaptured this turn. That was what these fights were, and now has cracked Satis.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I got what you're saying now.
Okay. This might have been Soul Slays. Yeah, it's possible these guys are deleted. Oh no, it's Ravenous Swarm. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good way to deal with vampires. Doesn't kill them permanently. Kind of be nice to Soul Slay them too, but
Yeah, it would be, but
yeet yeet. All right. Well, Olm is putting some energy into these turns. I mean, it would be so easy just to completely roll over and die now, and he has no chance of winning.
it would.
But he's making him pay the pound of flesh. Any thoughts on the Ulm Pangaea conflict, Maryland?
Just that Olm's doing a fine job for
Yeah.
last ditch defense. I mean, it's pretty overwhelmingly against him because he's fighting Vanheim and Pangaea. Now, Vanheim, his efforts towards Ulm are fairly reduced right now,
Right.
but they're not done. He hasn't given up. So he's sort of, I think, holding the line against Ashdod. He doesn't want to press into Ashdod against the Vengeful Water. But Pan is free to just smash, smash, smash. He's got no significant reason not to dominate everything he can of Ulm. So Ulm's doing the best he can, I think. I'm sort of like you. I'm sort of sorry that back when he bought them, he bought those angels because I think that was gems that didn't do him a lot of good.
Yeah. They're
They're
not
just
holding up.
not holding up. I think he's had those a long time. I don't think he's still
If they were
making
mindless or something, then it would be like they would be different enough that they may be worth it in some circumstances.
Yeah. They're a pretty questionable
Yeah,
sum for the
they're
cost.
they're
Whatever,
not worth it at
20
all.
years or something.
So, yeah. Okay, so that is that's the Ulm Pangaea conflict. And coming over, I want to take a look because we're about done. But let's look at the escalation of things on this border between Pangaea and Ashdod. So we see a bunch of stuff here.
Oh, we have to do a shout out. I think we
Dude,
see
this
the
is funny.
Illahad
Look
again.
at this. Look at this. The literally 1,000 gem tree lord. So this is that means gift of health is tied to this this tree lord. So it's like please snipe him.
Yeah.
And,
I'm holding it out
he's
there
not
for
even
you
in
to
a
come
fort.
at.
He's not
Come
even
on.
in a fort.
Come on.
I think he just yeah.
Come at me.
And that's
Come
another
at me.
variable in this whole thing.
That's
We
pretty
haven't even
funny.
been looking. Let's take a look real quick. Is he fighting in his dominion or not? This is not his dominion. Okay.
No.
This is his dominion.
No.
Okay. So yeah, all this stuff in Ulm is not really benefiting from Gift of Nature's bounty.
Or
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Gift
Gift
of
of health. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we see kind of a motley assortment of things on the border from Pangaea's side. We see small amount of elites here for Ashdod, a big pile of long dead here.
Well, and he said, if he pulls out the long dead, he's going to undead mastery it. So you really don't want to pull those out.
Yeah,
Those were
all the
tools.
scary stuff that Ashdod has is not on this front with Pangaea. I think he's going to get washed over. I mean, there's no reason for Pangaea to not hit every province.
Yeah, and that'll be next turn. Right? This is 106.
Yeah, this is where the game state really gets to break away, because if this was a good turn from Pangaea, they grew a bit. This is getting back some of the Ulmish stuff. If they get back more, I mean, they're going to be going up and up and up. Ashdod had another good turn. They went up some, but
He did.
He's going to still have to fight for his food. Vanheim is not done swinging, but Olm is.
No, and at very low commitment for Ashdod this turn. He just regrouped.
Right.
Well, he had to regroup because his big doomstack ran away and got scattered, and he lost some critical stuff, like you said, critical items, and the storm staff. I believe he said he lost.
Yeah. Well, let's take one quick look at army size before we check out of here.
A lot of Maenads died.
Did they?
That's a lot of dead Maenads. Well, for Pangaea to flatline, with Maenads being produced constantly, that's a lot of dead Maenads.
Not that he
cares, but it's a lot.
I mean,
of
we can see the Vanheim and the Ulmish march down, though. Vanheim did not recover this turn in terms of troop numbers. He lost a little, but
absolutely not.
These are bad trajectories. Pelagia hanging tight. I wonder. I think there's nothing he can do, so he's probably just not putting much time into his turns. But I wonder if it's also Arco, so he might be scheming of something. Maybe he has some 4D chess move that could do something, but
he sure sounded demoralized.
Rightfully so. I think objectively his position's played out now. So
yeah. Well, that was a rough hit. Having a Doom Horde take out your Kraken.
All right. Any closing thoughts, Maryland?
No, I don't think so. This fairly quiet turn, really. No major shift to the situation. Last turn was the big shift. This one's fairly much as we expected. So next turn, the Ashdod Pangaea fight, seeing how that plays out, will be very critical.
But I mean, we already know like Ashdod doesn't really have much to fight Pangaea with. So I think he's declared a war, which he's not ready to go on the offensive. So we'll see. We'll see if that actually happens. But
yes.
All right. Thank you for joining me, Maryland. And thank you all for tuning in.